Ben McKee and Patrick Brown to Go Vols 24/7 here on campus on Wednesday of Tennessee's second open week this season. Just got done speaking to Josh Heupel and a couple of players. We'll start with the biggest storyline from today, and that is Jamal McCoy. Josh Heupel was asked if he expects Jamal McCoy to play football at any point this season, and he said he thought it was unfair to put a timeline or a timetable on McCoy and if he could potentially return this season. He was non-committal, and personally, me reading between the lines, the way he kind of paused and thought for a second about what he wanted to say, he didn't seem too confident in my opinion.
Yeah, I think me and Ryan Callahan have discussed this a few times on these no-huddles and on our podcast that it would help Tennessee's chance of getting him back if they were still in the playoff race. And that's not to say that because they lost, he's definitely not going to play. I don't think there's a lot of layers to this situation. So I think it's a little bit more TBD than if they had won the other night and still had something to play for. So we'll have to see. Colton Hood definitely wants Jamal McCoy to come back. He wants to play opposite of him and make some plays, but we'll just have to see. Jamal has done some more on the practice field over the past couple weeks, but he just has to weigh, is the risk of playing for a team that's not going to make the playoff worth potentially hurting his draft stock. That's always been a consideration with his situation, and it will continue to be.
Speaking of Colton Hood, we spoke to Mr. Hood himself, as you mentioned. We also spoke to Jalen McMurray and David Hobbs. And the theme today, along with Josh Heupel, was how is this team going to carry themselves these next couple of weeks? They're not going to make the college football playoffs, even if they technically have
They were ranked. Best three-loss team in the country, Ben.
They were ranked number 25 in the playoff ranking debuts on Tuesday night. I think, 2% chance on ESPN? That's what they were saying with a loss. They're not going to make the playoffs. So how is this team going to carry themselves in the coming weeks? Something you and I talked about post-game is you think Saturday night was frustrating for fans losing the way that they did. You turn around and you lose to Florida in the swamp again. You turn around and lose to Diego Pavia while he's running his mouth inside Neyland Stadium on Senior Day. The word that my friend Jason Swain used is that it'll be toxic this offseason. So a lot of those questions for the players in Heupel today, and they all said the right things, and Jalen McMurray said he was confident that this team was going to continue to go about their business in the right way. And another common theme with those answers were that, hey, we still get to play football, and that's what we came here to do. That's what we love to do, and it's a blessing. So David Hobbs said there's no time to half-ass it.
Yeah, and Josh Heupel said that this team has continued to compete and work. I mean, they kept playing and playing even the other night. They didn't lay down after it looked like the game got away from them. And he expects nothing different from that group. It's just it gets harder this time of year, right? Because there's 3 weeks left in the season. People, are getting in these guys' ears about what they're doing next season, whether that's the going pro, whether that's the portal, all that kind of stuff. That happens for any team, whether you're in the playoff or not. Now you have that taken off the table. But like you said, Tennessee has a lot to play for, and these next 3 games are going to dictate a lot of how the offseason looks, right? If you're able to win out and get to 9-3, you could probably pitch that you don't need to make a bunch of changes because you were just a few plays away from being where you want to be. And you still have a chance to go in a bowl game, as meaningless as it might be, to go win 10 games for a, third time in 4 years. So, or it can go the other way. And I don't see any in between. I feel like if Tennessee's they're either going 9-3 or 7-5 with those last 2 games, what they are. So, and if it's 7-5, then it'll be a long off season and things will get more challenging. More challenging to keep the roster together and all that stuff that we kind of discussed. But you're just kind of interesting to listen to some of the players today talk about how, we're just going to work every day. We get to play football. We're playing for the guys next to us. David Hobbs talked about playing for, guys like Bryson Easton and Dominic Bailey who have put so much time and effort into this program. So there's still plenty of motivation. There's still plenty of importance, but you kind of won't see, proof is going to be in the action, not the talk, right? So we'll have to see what they look like. Not necessarily maybe against Mexico State as much as Florida in a couple weeks.
Interested to see the rotations on both sides of the football going forward as well. With you being eliminated from the playoffs, essentially, do we see more young players get more playing time these next couple of weeks? Josh Heupel with the typical coach speak answer of these guys, if they've earned it, they'll play.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect an overhaul of stuff. They're not going to put George McIntyre out there for the last 3 games.
No, because you better go beat Florida and Vanderbilt.
And you owe it to the guys that have been
yes.
working all season. Now, if somebody's a little banged up and they're not 100%, Should you give Redarius Jackson an extra series or two? Probably. Should you play some more guys on defense? Sure. They've been doing that most of the season. I don't expect a youth movement, but again, this time, it's always kind of overrated, right? You get an open day and everybody's like, who are the young players that are going to emerge? There could be some, but
a guy like Jaden Harmon should probably play more.
Yeah.
Jaden Perlotti should definitely play more.
Yeah, you've got some guys, but they have to go earn it.
Yes, for sure.
And that's what this week is about.
No doubt. And we've got plenty of coverage of Tennessee's second open week up at the site at GoVols247.com. It's still a very busy week on campus. Tennessee basketball began their season on Monday night. They'll be back in action.
Beautiful day on campus as well.
On Saturday.
All this foliage.
Very beautiful day here on campus. Lady Vols started their season. Maria's got coverage of that. And Tennessee baseball has their Orange and White Fall World Series this weekend that I'll have coverage of.
Ryan will have recruiting coverage with coaches going out.
Yeah, coaches are going out. Josh Heupel talked about that today. You've got current Tennessee commits going and visiting Ohio State, and you've got Tennessee hosting recruits who are committed elsewhere. So it's that time of year, and we've got all that coverage at GoVols247.com. He's Patrick Brown and Ben McKee.